Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming this evening and waiting. As you know, that there's been quite a lot of a flurry of information, in particular on social media, and unfortunately by FBC also, that printed a story in respect of the registration fees for births, deaths, and marriages. And once again, we've seen a particular journalist getting it wrong without actually talking to us about it. Now, there's quite a lot of misinformation that has, in fact, been put in place, and let me contextualize it. The last time fees was increased in the BDM office was in 2000, which is 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago, when any fees were actually changed. Now, secondly, there has also been a lot of misinformation or missing information. As you know, on 12th of April, the Honorable Prime Minister launched the digital ability for people to register their newborn babies. And as announced then, which unfortunately none of the stories actually have carried this, that registration through electronic means does not attract any fees whatsoever. So even if you register your child, and even if you want a birth certificate copy, even that copy is actually given to you for free if you register electronically. And when I say register electronically, it means register either through your phone app or you register on the computer, through the computer. Now that obviously has not been put out into the space, the public space. That kind of information has been missing. And obviously we have been doing that because we want to encourage more people to register electronically. It's a lot more efficient, it's a lot more easier for them, and we have said that we'll pick up the cost for that. The second misinformation that has also gone out is that we saw some people saying that now to get married you have to pay $3,000. It's a ridiculous proposition. As the fee says, this is for civil marriage celebrants. As you know, that a few years ago we amended the law where we have upright citizens who can actually apply personally in their own right to become a marriage celebrant, which means that these people go off and charge their own fees. A lot of these people who've actually acquired these certificates go out and, for example, conduct marriages for people, on the islands, or some tourist comes to some island, they go and charge them a fee and they conduct marriages. If you want to get married on a Sunday at 3 o'clock in Botanical Garden, you can call them up, they'll conduct the marriage for you. So these are the specialized marriage celebrants. But apart from that, there are 1,500 religious marriage officers throughout Fiji. Your pandits, your talatalas, your priests, your molvis, all of these people are not just religious personnel in their respective faiths, but they apply to become marriage officers. The application fee for them is $0. Now, none of that has been stated. There's been this sort of frenzy of misinformation. So those people continue to conduct marriages. So if you, for example, want to get married in a church, in a temple, you can go off and have that priest or talatala conduct the marriage for you. And there is no fee for them to actually become a marriage officer. They simply have to apply. The Ministry of Justice staff, the BDM staff, see whether that person is an upright person of good standing and in particular of a particular faith, then they get them registered. So there's 1,500 people like that. So that's another set of misinformation. The other unfortunate misinformation that's also been spread, there has been absolutely no contextualization, like I said, that the fees have not increased for nearly 20 years, 19 years to be exact, is what are the costs in other countries. Samoa, to get a certified copy of a birth certificate, cost Australian $40, which is Fijian $59. In Fiji, it now costs only $10. In Vanuatu, for example, if you have a certified copy of birth certificate, Vanuatu cost is about 28 Fijian dollars. So again, ours is only $10. So you have to understand the context within which these amendments have been made. As announced in the budget, that we are reviewing a number of fees. In some instances, some fees in other ministries may actually remain the same, may come down. In other instances, obviously, we say that the fees, in fact, will probably be made zero, as in this particular instance. If you register your child through electronic means, the registration is free, plus if you want to get a copy of the birth certificate, that is also free. Now, the other option, of course, is some people say, okay, I want to walk in to BDM office and register my child. The registration itself is $0. If you want to get a copy of the birth certificate, then that's $10. That's the difference. So in fact, we found people who sometimes, they realize that they simply just stand outside and do the registration on the phone, and they come in, they get, his registration is free, plus the actual copy of it is free also. So please, I'd like you to, as a media organization, particularly in this case, FBC obviously got it completely wrong, and sort of jumped on this sort of frenzy. And I wanted to also assure the young people of Fiji it does not cost you $3,000 to get married. The registration, as we said, to get married, of course, you have to, as by law, give notice of marriage and declaration. Normally the time is 21 days. But if you want to shorten the period, if you want to get married tomorrow, for example, you can go and apply for what you call a special license. Some people do that. Then, of course, you can then go and get married in front of the Tala or the Pandit or the priest or whoever it is, or the Molvi. Or you can actually get that marriage conducted in the BDM office. And we have registered officers who do that. They, of course, charge you a fee for that. So, these are the sort of changes that have taken place. And we found, for example, if you look at this, the way it's been portrayed as if these are ongoing costs. Normally when you register a person and you get a birth certificate, you don't get a birth certificate every day or every week or even every year. The only people, once they get the birth certificate, that's it, they have it. We have said also that some of the changes that will be taking place in the digital space is very soon we'll be offering what we call e-birth certificates. So you get it electronically. And that, of course, will solve a lot of problems because you can have it with you on your phone. And then, of course, it's barcoded. You can go to schools, and these are some of the things that we are working on. And simply just tap your phone, and then they'll get all the details of that particular information that's contained in your birth certificate. So I just wanted to clarify that. It's rather unfortunate that this type of misinformation has been spread. And I'd like to seek your cooperation in ensuring that we get the right information out there. The other point, of course, that has been missed out in the story is that now we give $1,000 for the registration of a baby. If the mother earns less than $30,000 a year, she and the baby are entitled to $1,000. And of course, the birth certificate is free, the registration is free, and then you get $1,000 for the rearing of your child. Again, this has not been contextualized. It has not been looked at holistically. Maternity leave for mothers has increased now up to 98 days from 84 working days. So all of these things needs to be put into context. Here are people running stories saying something's increased from $1 to $5 after 20 years. It's quite preposterous. I'd like to, I wanted to clarify that to you. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
So, one of the issues that was raised